Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting night of racing in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. From Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, it's Randy Pepper alongside his co-host, cohort, and producer of the show, Nick Adams. What is happening, Nick?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are here tonight to begin a 27-race, action-packed season where, forgive me, folks, you're going to see my settings because I am blowing my eardrums out.
I saw that. I'm like,
there we go.
was too loud.
yeah, blowing my eardrums out. I don't know how you guys felt, but I know for my end, I was dying. We have 27 weeks of racing. It starts tonight at Daytona International Speedway for 225 miles, 250 miles, 100 laps around the Daytona International Raceway. Ladies, gentlemen, dogs, cats, people, humans, aliens, whatever's watching out there, we're excited. We are so excited. But first, we have to thank everybody who joined on to help bring you the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series, from Transervice themselves to FEG PCs or North Carolina 811. We appreciate all of you. We're so excited to be partnered with Sim500. We're very excited to see that they were able to partner with all of these great sponsors. We are stoked. Randy, I'm excited. We have brand new trucks.
Stoked. I can't believe you said stoked. You know, that's a term we use down here in Florida to explain going surfing in the mornings.
There you go. But Randy, not only are we looking at the biggest field that we've ever had on Ghost Fire Media, we have upwards of 50 trucks trying to get into the show tonight. The expected number is 62. We'll see how many show up. 43 of them can get in. So we might have heat racing here tonight, which I personally, I'm so excited for. I love heat racing. I love heats. I love the idea of you have to get into a certain heat racing at Daytona, right? The top. So the way it works tonight is the top 38 will get in through qualifying, right? Top 38 will get in through qualifying. After that, the top 5 in the heat will get into the main show. So there'll be 43 drivers. So if we have more than 43 drivers arrive, the top 38 will be locked in on qualifying times. After that, the remainder of those drivers will go out on the racetrack for an 8-lap heat. 10-minute, 8-lap heat. The top 5 will then advance to the big show, the main event, the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series 250 here at Daytona. I'm excited.
This is going to be a lot of fun, definitely for sure. And we are 100 laps. It's exactly what they do run the 250 at Daytona.
I'm starting to look at the schedule, Randy. We're running full-length truck races this year.
Wow.
Pretty close to full-length truck races at almost every one of these racetracks.
Wow. We're going to have some late nights this season.
Hey, we shall see. But ladies and gentlemen, we always, I know it's the beginning of the season, but we have to talk about the playoffs. We have to make sure everybody understands how the playoffs work. So the playoffs here, the top 16 drivers in points advance into the playoffs. 3-point bonuses for playoff drivers with wins. So each driver that gets a win this year that makes it to the playoffs will get a 3-point, I can't say point, a 3-point bonus. I believe that's per each win. I'll get confirmation on that before next week, but that's what I believe. But we're excited. I mean, this is going to be great. This is going to be
a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. And I want to apologize to some of the people that may be watching us for the first time. This is our first time doing the Truck Series. We have some new names that we are not familiar with. So if we mess up your name tonight, maybe next week, we will finally get it. Trust me. I mean, what you called Falkingham for so many races, not realizing how to pronounce his name, that may happen here with some of these other guys like Runge.
So what I'm excited for, not only are we debuting the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series here tonight, but we are also debuting the brand new trucks. Don't forget the Toyota Tundra, the new TRD, officially makes its debut here tonight on Ghost Fire Media. I'd rather blow my eardrums out than not be able to hear anything.
And we can talk a little bit about those trucks. A real good friend of mine, Jimmy Fallon, works in the Truck Series in actual NASCAR. Actually, I was just talking to him a little while ago.
So we'll actually give you a good view of this so we can explain a little bit more.
Yeah, so look at this.
Look at the new front end. It's sleeker. It looks more like the road-going Toyota Tundra. It's sleeker. It's tighter. It's more aerodynamic. It allows these drivers to push more. The bumpers on the front of the trucks now line up more than they ever have before. That was a problem that it's a problem that they don't want. They don't want the drivers to be able to tandem. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword that they're going with right now. They don't want the drivers to be able to tandem, but they also want to have good drafting and nice packs. Right. So the Toyotas, the problem with the Toyotas for probably the last 6 years is that front bumper was it was like the Pontiacs back in like 02, 03 before they left the sport, where the front end of the Pontiac was a little longer and it was a little like sharper down. The front of the Toyota Tundras,
triangle to it.
Yeah, that was the same thing with the Tundras. They were a little bit more triangle. So when they got up behind, and the rear end on the Tundra was set up to receive that. But when they got up behind like a Chevy or a Ford, they couldn't push them square because they'd get under that back bumper, they'd lift the rear end up, and the truck would just go sideways. So you saw a lot at Daytona and Talladega of these trucks not being able to really tandem draft. They don't want them to be able to tandem draft. It's specifically set out in the rules by NASCAR to not tandem draft, but it happens. They don't tandem for long because they overheat, because the radiators were made smaller on purpose for that. But you're able now, if I can get a good view of this.
Try if
right there.
If you,
right there.
I was going to say that or the screenshot view.
Yeah, that right there. Where is the original screenshot view? Because this is screenshot 2. I think this is the one. Yeah, that right there, that is what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of these drivers being able to push. The front end of the Chevys didn't change too much. The front end of the Chevys are pretty much unchanged. They're a little bit less pronounced because I've seen these in person. I went up to New Hampshire for a truck test, and I saw these in person. And the Chevys, the front nose in the Chevys, they had the old, like the 2021 and the 2022 next to each other. There's not too much of a difference other than the front nose of the Chevy obviously looks way different, but the specs of it are almost identical. I wouldn't say they are identical, but they're almost there.
Very close.
The Fords really didn't change. I mean, there's no design update on the Ford. It's really just the rear end and the way that the trucks are built and the composite bodies to reduce cost. But in sim racing, none of that matters. But on the track, in real life, the reduced cost and being able to bring more trucks and have more trucks out on the track and more teams being able to afford things because of the reduced cost of the composite bodies definitely helps.
Yeah, and I was going to tell you, talking to my friend about this, one of the questions I had for him was, with NASCAR going to the new gen, what did the trucks do? I mean, is there anything different inside the truck like the new gen car? And he said, no, it's all the cosmetic stuff on the outside that we just talked about. So the inside of the car or the truck is pretty much identical to what it was last year and the year before. So it's just basically those front ends and those rear ends that were changed. And that's all they actually had to wait for these things until some of the truck teams didn't get their stuff until very, very late.
Know that the Haley Deegan's team didn't get their trucks until I think it was like just over a month before Daytona. It doesn't give you a lot of time because, I mean, you have to.
Nice didn't give me that.
Yeah.
They got them. I mean, Nice Motorsports, which Jimmy works for, they didn't give them like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you have to be able to. You really needed to be able to be on top of it, and I think that having the ability for some of these teams to not be able to do what they usually do throughout the off season, and build trucks all year and really hone in on that Daytona car. I think that really opened up the ability for the different drivers to be able to compete for wins at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking at Justin Fuller from Greene, New York.
He is driving the number 51 Ford F-150. Surprising that Ford actually kept the F-150. There was a rumor they were going to bring in the F-250 into NASCAR. They decided on the F-150, and that's because I think they're bringing the F-250 to their Australian series that they're starting with the trucks, so that'll be pretty cool.
He's got chicken on the side.
He does. He's got a pretty cool little scheme on that thing. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it too, although I don't like Bojangles chicken, but I like the truck.
You don't like Bojangles?
No, too spicy for me. Makes me sick. Too spicy.
Folks, not only do we have new cameras here at Daytona International Raceway, we also have new onboard cameras. We're excited about those too.
Oh. Cherry wines
all
on
of those throughout the night, though. Currently sitting on provisional pole is Tommy Ryan, the number 99 of Tommy Ryan. Let's give you a little bit of information about this series here. Tommy Ryan is the defending series champion last year. In 2021, Tommy Ryan was able to win the Transervice Truck Series Championship. He's trying to make it 2 in a row and go back-to-back. Trey Edison, who won the 2019 and the 2020 Truck Series Championship, though, he's going to try to make sure that doesn't happen this year. You'll see him. He's in the number 7. We'll get an eye on him here in a moment. But as we watch the number 19 of Tyler Dalton, who currently sits provisional in P2 here with a 52.26 up on the board. Trey Edison jumps provisional pole 52.26 for him as well. He was a 52.2593. Tommy Ryan 52.2599. Tyler Dalton 52.268. So it rounded up to a .27 on your screens, folks. It says a .26. So right now, Trey Edison will be provisionally on the pole. We have 39 trucks so far gone through to qualifying. I believe we will end up having a heat. I think we have 44 trucks. So right now, the position that we all need to keep an eye on is that 38th spot on the racetrack. And right now, that is currently being held by Ron Holyfield here in the number 1. He actually jumps up to 33rd now. We'll drop back to Kevin England, who is 35th on the bubble right now. Josh Parker, he needs to improve here to be able to get himself locked into the big show and not have to worry about going into a heat and possibly going home here. As right behind him, Jeff Ryan with a 52.6. He sits right outside that bubble as well. Behind them, you've got Gerald Livingston, Christopher B. Williams sitting 43rd. Richard Swaverly hasn't run a lap yet, and Jimmy Coleman hasn't either. So we'll only do a heat if more than 43 drivers hit laps. That might happen, that may not. We'll keep an eye on it. But on the bubble right now is Brian Macklin in the number 30, as we see Gerald Livingston jump up to 28th there. Ron Holyfield sits in 39th right now in the number 1. He hasn't been able to improve out of that hole. And Richard Swaverly is exiting the pits, which means that'll be our 44th driver as qualifying comes to an end here. So I believe what I'm about to see is some heat racing at Daytona. 8 laps of heats, Randy Pepper.
Wow. This is going to be fun. We'll get to see just a few trucks out there heat racing. 7 trucks to be exact. And we've seen Holyfield run very well. We've seen Macklin run very well as well. Kind of surprised that they're that far back in the qualifying.
Daytona is one of those fickle things, right? Maybe they didn't want to be qualifying up front. Maybe they wanted to qualify near the back, and they just did a little bit too less. They wanted to do just a little bit more, but they weren't able to. So now they just have to deal with what they now have to deal with is this 8-lap heat here. 7 trucks, 8 laps. You're going to send it all out here. So I think you're probably going to see some aggressive moves because you need to get in the top 5. Only the top 5 in this heat.
I mean, Macklin, we know how good he is. We watched him the whole season with the Xfinity cars last season, and we know he's very, very tough. And it would be almost an upset if we don't see him actually in the race tonight, I would think.
I mean, I would 100% agree with you as I try to find a decent camera angle here for you folks. I apologize. There we go. Nice little fan cam action. See the drivers.
I like the mullet on the one guy there in the stands.
Yeah, hey, he looked like you, right?
No, I don't have a mullet. I have a shag.
Well, I don't know what the hell the difference is, but
it's different. Trust me. Mullet is cut around the ears. A shag is not.
So here in the heat, the one and only 8-lap heat here this evening. Ron Holyfield will start on your pole. Brian Macklin will start on the outside pole here in the number 30. Kevin England in the number 127. Mark Fravert back in 4th in the number 68. Doug Sigmund back in the 04 starts 5th. Jimmy Coleman in 6th. And Richard Swaverly in 7th. Folks, the top 5 advance to the main show here tonight. 38 drivers are locked in. 7 of them fighting for their Daytona lives. Who is going to make it to the big show? Who is going to start the season by not starting the season? Talk about, heartbreak. You come here, you're ready. You're like, I'm going to be one of those 43 guys to start at Daytona. I'm going to go out there and give it my all and try to get myself that win to begin the season, and you don't make the show. That would hurt.
Yeah, and we've got, Coleman, Swaveley, Sigmund, Macklin, Holyfield, and England as well. I mean, these are guys that we know. Actually, all these guys we know from the Xfinity races. So here we go. Green flag is getting ready to fly here at Daytona International Speedway. Green flag is out. Here they go. The field stacked up 2 by 2 as they head down to turn number 1 with Holyfield down low. Macklin up high. Macklin's just barely out by a nose, but here comes the inside line stacking up, trying to get something working as the outside line trying to hang on as that inside line is starting to pull away, with Holyfield leading the way down the back straightaway here at Daytona for the first time tonight.
Already you're beginning to see what we thought might happen with this new package. This series right now, the belief is that the Chevy might be a little bit more aerodynamic when it comes to the draft, and that inside line, they got lined up really nice, and that Toyota leading the outside line might just be a little slower. And here we come out of turn 4 for the first time this evening. 2 wide at the line. It looks like Brian Macklin's actually going to get a heck of a run down the straightaway. He's not going to lead lap number 1 here in this heat, but Ron Holyfield is. But Brian Macklin in that number 30 Navy Toyota Tundra is pushing as hard as he can and hoping and praying that the drivers behind him can just get up on his back bumper and go. But Jimmy Coleman sitting back there on the outside, the number 54, the last car on the outside line, he knows he has to go. He's currently sitting in 6th. He needs to gain a spot. Richard Swaverly on the back end of this inside line, he's sitting back in 7th. He knows he needs to go. These guys are going to start getting a little bit impatient as the laps line down here in heat number 1.
As Waverly sits on the bottom end of the track here in that bottom line, he could be the deal breaker right now to whoever's going to lead the first or second lap or whatever lap there is, because you're going to have 4 trucks down below. You have 3 trucks on the outside. The 4 trucks are always going to beat the 3 trucks. So although I say that, Macklin actually led that last lap. So that proved my line totally wrong.
Well, this new draft package that these cars have, these brand new trucks, the ability they have to get that slingshot on the outside is great. The side draft works way better than years past here in iRacing with these new trucks. And they're able to pull down on the exit of the corner and just pull that leader back. And it drops 4 to 5 to 6 miles an hour off that leader. And when they do that, that driver on the outside who's getting pushed, he's just going to fly on by. I mean, I didn't notice that number 68 car, though. He's now my favorite driver in the field with that Howard Stern paint scheme.
Is that what's on that truck?
That is a Howard Stern paint scheme on the number 68.
Wow.
And Brian Macklin leads again. He did the same thing he did the lap before. He came down on the exit of 4, just barely got real close to that right rear quarter panel, pulled the number 1 Ron Holyfield back, and when he did that, the number 1 lost about 6 to 8 miles an hour, and that's what affected him right there.
Yeah, that side draft and all that is working tonight rather well in the heat race. The only heat race we've had since we've been calling these races.
I have never
5 laps to go.
Never
we've
had
never
a heat
done
race here. We have never had a heat race here other than when we did the Endeavor Derby.
Yes,
personally,
true.
That me and you have called. There's been other heat races here in Ghostfire Media, but not that me and Randy Pepper have called. And I'll tell you, folks, I love heat racing. Heat racing is the best. Short track Saturday night heat racing, you can't beat it with a stick. Ron Holyfield leads now with 4 laps to go here at Daytona International Raceway.
What you got there?
No, it's nothing on your end. Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, you lost something there. I don't know what it was. But anyways, Holyfield down low, Macklin up high. They're still side by side all the way around the Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Racing. And here we go down the back.
That's what I
straightaway.
lost, by the way.
Getting a little better run that time, but here comes Macklin. That inside line is working.
Oh, big
Swavely
move
now
down on the inside there. England got a little loose.
Yeah, Swavely's actually being the deal breaker. I'm telling you, man. That whoever's in the back,
that outside line can't stay. Yeah, that outside lane, the number 68. Mark Fravert, he's getting a little impatient. He just needs to be patient. I know he's on that outside lane right now. I know he's on that cutoff point. He's in 5th, but if he stays in line with Brian Macklin in front of him, how fast Macklin has been and how good he's been at taking the pushes, he's not going to get knocked out here in these heats if he just stays right behind Brian Macklin. If he starts getting a little bit impatient, he could be the one to cause the big one take out 4 or 5 trucks here in this heat.
Yeah, he could be. And hopefully we don't see anything like that. Hopefully we go green the whole entire time, and it just ends up being a barn burner of a finish is what we want to see here.
These drivers get a little antsy, though. Kevin England sitting in 3rd, the number 127, that second car in the inside lane. He's hit that yellow line on the entrance to 3 and 4 the last 2 times, and that has allowed Ron Holyfield to get too big of a gap, and that might cost Holyfield a lap here as Macklin's going to lead by millimeters. The new nose of that Toyota Tundra, that might have been all that led him that lap, but he leads once again, that outside lane proving to be strong. And he saw that back there, Richard Swavely. He's jumped up to the outside now, and that outside line now has those 4 very important trucks lined up in a row.
That's what I said. The 4 is going to probably beat the 3, although we got people looking in the middle there.
There it is, the 3 wide. They're spinning,
Whoa,
big one, big
trouble.
wreck. The 24s are around, the 54s around, the 68s around, the 04. It looks like the 54's in the wall as well. Doug Sigmund in the wall. Mark Fravert, Kevin England. We stay green. Jimmy Coleman now. He's going to be, he has some damage on that truck. Richard Swavely. Now Brian Macklin, Ron Holyfield. They're coming to the white flag.
Wow, I cannot believe
Who's going to win this heat? Will Macklin pull out on Holyfield, try to show his hand for the Daytona 250? We'll see. Here he comes now through 1 and 2. Brian Macklin all up the back bumper of the number 1 Chevy Silverado. He looks to the outside. Holyfield does not come off that inside lane. Brian Macklin sits there, right there behind him, giving him a nice push. He's getting a little bit of ideas here. He's trying to figure out how hard you can push that truck in front of you with that new Toyota Tundra.
Yeah.
And here he comes. He's looking to the outside, maybe trying to cool that truck off a little bit, thinking about making a move here on the exit of 4. He will. He's at the quarter panel. Big side draft. Here comes Brian Macklin. It is going to be a drag race to the start-finish line. Who's going to win the heat here? Brian Macklin is going to take it on the exit of 4.
Wow.
And Randy Pepper, could we see that in the big-time main event here later this evening?
We definitely could. There's no doubt about it.
It looks like
But
it's going to
as
be
we saw
Ron
there,
Holyfield, Richard
might have to
Swavely,
survive.
Kevin England, Jimmy Coleman. Those will be your 5 that advance. Mark Fravert and Doug Sigmund. Unfortunately, we will the 2 drivers who do not advance to the main event here tonight, to the big one, to the Daytona 250. But a big congratulations to Brian Macklin here. And, folks, as we get ready for our main event here, the Daytona 250, we're going to take a quick commercial break and hear from one of our sponsors here in the Transervice Truck Series here with the Sim500 Esports Racing League.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities? I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
All right, back at Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Racing. We're getting ready to go racing for the first time tonight and the first time this season in the Sim500 Transervice Racing Truck Series. So this is going to be a lot of fun. The field has pulled off pit road now and head onto the banking into turn number 1. Nick, what are we going to see tonight? What do you think?
Oh, Randy Pepper, I think we're going to see a lot of action. We're going to see a lot of fun. That's one thing I think we're going to see a lot of. But let's talk about our grid for this evening. Our official grid. Oh, that's some results. Let's look at the official grid. Here we go. Starting on pole, going to be the number 7 of Trey Edison, looking to win his 3rd Truck Series championship. Tommy Ryan in 2nd, trying to start the season off and defend his championship from last year. Back in 3rd, you're going to have Tyler Dalton. In 4th, Adam Gill. In 5th, Ryan Howard. 6th, Robert Gillenwater. 7th, Randy Yoakum. 8th, Justin Fuller. 9th, Mike Kelly. 10th, Daniel Falkenham, our Winter Series champion. We'll keep an eye on him. 11th, Charles Woods. 12th, Chris Gibbo. I think that's either Gibbo or Gibbo. I apologize if I got it wrong. 13th, Glenn Campbell. 14th, Kevin DeBrown makes his return tonight. 15th, E.J. O'Rourke. 16th, Joey Katina. 17th, Hamish Gallagher. 18th is going to be Christopher B. Williams. 19th, Jeff Ryan. 20th, Chad Coleman. 21st, Stoney Benfield. And 22nd, Ian Hahn. 23rd, going to be J. Randall Watkins. 24th, Josh Pocker. 25th, Doy Woods. 26th, Scott Simley. 27th is going to be James Sombach. 28th is going to be Gerald Livingston. 29th, Dwight Beverly. 30th, Scott Stenzel. 31st, Derek Myers. 32nd, Derek Runge. 33rd, Brian Wortman. 34th, Bentley Glazier. 35th, Paul Crumrine. 36th, Doug Roth. 37th going to be Anthony Calantoni. 38th going to be Richard Beasley. 39th, Brian Macklin. 40th, Ron Holyfield. 41st, Richard Swavely. 42nd, Kevin England. And rounding out the field in 43rd, it's going to be Jimmy Coleman.
And here we go. Green flag is out. The field is on their way for the first time tonight with Trey Edison taking the green flag. Tommy Ron on the outside. They're side by side all the way back through the field here at Daytona International Speedway. They'll make their way off of turn number 2 to make their way down the super stretch, with Addison leading by roughly just about a half a car length, if that. And you've got Ryan stacking up on the outside with everyone following in tow all the way around the track right now. Tyler Dalton back there, as well as Adam Gillian and Ryan Howard and Robert Gillenwater. We've seen him many times. We're going to see a lot of good racing tonight for sure, as they take the first lap around the track.
Give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to work on fixing this ticker because it's not right.
All right, go ahead. Trey Addison still leads on the inside line. They are stacked up on the outside and the inside. Everybody looking for something to happen, but right now it's not go time. You see a couple of trucks. It looks like the 41 truck is looking the outside. That's E.J. O'Rourke, and they are 3 wide for the first time. E.J. O'Rourke does take them 3 wide. They're going to put the 39 in the middle. That's Daniel Falkingham. And Falkingham trying to make his way up. He'll leave E.J. O'Rourke on that outside groove, and he'll line up right behind into the 6th position. He's right behind the Tyler Dalton truck. Or actually, Tyler Dalton's down below. He's right behind, I believe that's Robert Gillenwater right there. And once again, 3 wide. We've got 2 3 wides here. Wow. It is, I think it's way too early to be 3 wide.
It is. It's 100% way too early to be doing what they're doing right now. I mean, this field is 3 laps in of a 100-lap race, and they are all absolutely over each other right now.
Yeah, way too early for this stuff. I don't know what they're thinking, but yeah, I'm not driving the truck, so I don't know. I don't know what they're seeing.
As we keep an eye right now, we'll look a little bit further back in the pack here. Look at the middle of this pack here, folks, as we see these drivers start getting sideways a little bit. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, about 13, 14, 15 rows deep now throughout the entirety of this field. Absolutely insane right now around this racetrack.
Is that
Trey Edison still your leader?
Yeah, is that that truck back there? Is that the Kevin DeBrown? Is that who I see back there?
Back here in
Stalled
19th, that is going to be Kevin DeBrown.
Yeah, Kevin DeBrown. We haven't seen him in a while. He's won last in the last season we called with the Xfinity cars. And good to see him back out here once again.
And we look at our champion from the Winter Series, Daniel Falkingham, currently sitting in 5th right now. And that number 39 will go on board that machine here around the racetrack for a couple of laps. That January 31st machine. He's 3 wide on the outside, sitting in 5th position, trying to get that outside lane moving. We'll see what he can do. You look off of him, he's by himself right now. That's off his back bumper. Here he comes. He's going to get a big push from behind, but he's going to fall back, lose a few spots. We look in front of him again now. He's the 2nd car on that 3rd line. As cars start going by him inside, outside, he drops down to the middle as we go back a little bit further with the VA811.com car from Randy Yoakum. Instead of being the North Carolina one, he's got the Virginia one on that machine, and so does his teammate right in front of him.
Yeah, they're digging for sure. That's all I can say. Those 811 cars are digging. Might not be digging in the right place, but they are digging around the Daytona International Speedway.
They are. You see the 33 and the 8 right there, 2 in a row, the 811 cars. The difference between these cars, folks, obviously the numbers, but if you can't see the difference between them, if you can't see the numbers during the broadcast, the back of Randy Yoakum's car is orange, the back of his teammate, or maybe not his teammate, but the number 33 of Ryan Howard that has the same paint scheme, it's white instead of orange. Everything else in those machines is the same.
Yep, absolutely. And we're still seeing a little 3 wide action going on up here and towards the front of the pack. Now they finally decide to get back in line.
But calm down a little.
Yeah, I mean, 6 laps. Right? It's going to be 7 laps here in just a second, but way too early to start really digging around looking for something to happen early on. I think you need to just settle down. You know, you got plenty of time to have something happen, but they are trucks. We see this in the actual NASCAR truck series. Tampa World Truck, we see guys doing stuff stupid early on, and usually it doesn't pay off. As we see a jet in the distance landing.
They consistently push as hard as they can. It's one of the things that's so endearing about the trucks, but it's also one of the more dangerous facts of being a truck driver. That you're going to see these guys push a ton and a ton. And now the leader, E.J. O'Rourke, he goes from the top to the middle. From the bottom to the middle. E.J. O'Rourke, he's going to slide. He's in the middle now, 3 wide. Look at this hornet's nest at the front of the race. My, oh my, Don Woods in that number 28 car. He started 25th. He's leading now. He goes from top to bottom. Now we're 3 wide to get off into turn 1. Daniel Falkenham out on the outside. There it is. One car's going to go. They're going to go sideways. And that's going to be it. Big one here. 3, 4, 5, 6, now maybe 18 trucks now involved. Holy schmoly, Randy Pepper. We got a big one here early on. Just
Gear sixer
junk.
broke out, definitely.
There is junk all over the racetrack back here in turn 1.
Let's see, Holyfield's involved in that.
Man
one of the
alive,
trucks.
there is a lot of junk back there. See if we can see what happened. Started
I got
up
a
right at the
feeling
front of the pack. It was
right at the
right
front.
at the front of the pack with the number 28 of Roy Woods here as we come through. It started at the front. It went to the back, but it started at the front. We'll take a look here and see what happened.
Yep.
Roy was on the inside. He was trying to come up, get a little bit of that side draft, hold off the charging number 55, and there just was no room there for the 56 to come down, and they got together, and that just stacked up the field behind them.
Everybody checked up. They saw that they anticipated that 56 truck was going to go around, but it didn't. Gillian just kind of kept it in tow, but everybody behind them reacted the way they should.
They did.
But unfortunately, it was the wrong reaction.
Very
at
much
this
so.
time.
Now, with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, folks. We're going to hear a little bit more about this title sponsor of the Sim500 Esports Wednesday night series, Transervice Trucks.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. We just had a melee break loose. Pandemonium broke loose in the ring, and I tell you what, I don't know how many trucks got involved in that, but it was a big number this early on in the race, and unfortunately for a lot of good trucks, we're not going to see them at the front of the field tonight.
No, it is unfortunate, but it is racing at the end of the day. It's what happens, especially at Daytona, Randy Pepper.
Yeah, any of these restrictor plate trucks or tracks, we're gonna see problems happen like that.
So right now we're sitting on board with two-time series champion, 2019-2020 champion, Trey Edison. Trey Edison is the winningest driver of all time here on Wednesday nights in the Truck Series. With 22. Right behind him, Justin Fuller with 20. And then Daniel Falkenham sits comfortably in third with 17. As Mr. Falkenham a couple weeks ago, said to us that he didn't think he was nearly as good in the trucks as he was in the cars. I think he's lying to us again.
I think he is too. I just don't see him not being as good in these as he is in the cars. The only thing I can see is that the way the truck drives, the truck is a lot tighter than the Xfinity car or the next gen car, and maybe he doesn't like the way they feel. That's the only thing I can say.
Well, looking over at the number 56 of Adam Gilliland here in the backstretch, he's had a rough beginning to his evening. He's now back in 24th after starting in 4th, so we'll keep an eye on him as the evening goes along. A few different views we have for you this evening on these cars, folks. Keep an eye on. We'll show you some more of those as the night goes along. We'll also jump in real quick with the number 44 of Glenn Campbell. Here you get to see another one of these beautiful cameras that these teams have so kindly allowed us to put on. This one sits on the Chevrolet Silverado right there, right out in front of that left front window. Beautiful, beautiful view it allows us to have. And we will jump in with one of the Fords of Joey Gattini. You can see it also sits there with him, but on the Toyotas it sits back here. It's pretty cool.
Where is the? Do we still have the Guitar Addict drone camera?
Do we still have the Guitar Addict drone camera? We do not. We actually we got it shot down when we were in Atlanta, and Guitar Addict declined to give us any more money to buy a new one.
I'll have to talk to that guy.
You're gonna have to talk to the owner.
Yeah.
Because that guy over there, he's ruining his own business. Nobody cared about anything else except the Guitar Addict drone camera. It was the most popular camera in Ghostfire Media history, and that guy,
absolutely.
Randy Pepper over there, ruined it.
I'll have to see if he can slide something to the Ghostfire Media
All
people.
right. Well, folks, for the first time this year here on the Wednesday night Transervice Truck Series, we're going to go ahead, and we officially have a camera pack for it. We're going to crank it up. Off into turn number 1 here. After 13 laps completed, Daniel Falkenham leads them around the Daytona International Raceway here in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series Racing. Transervice Truck Series Racing League. Did I say that right? I didn't say it right.
It's all right. Yes.
It's okay. We'll do it another 40 times. We'll get it right, I promise. Night number 1. Here we go, though. 3 wide behind him, 2 wide, about 4, 5, 6, 7 lanes deep now around this beautiful Daytona International Raceway.
Speedway.
Whatever.
It's too big to be a raceway.
Smart ass.
Trust me. Just because I get
It's
on this one.
technically a super speedway, but they call it International Speedway.
Yeah, they call it International Speedway.
It's a super speedway.
Yeah, I know, but they call it International Speedway. It says it right on the very front of the track as you're riding down International Speedway Boulevard, and you can see it out there. It's right across from Hooters.
I'll call them something. There's only 29 trucks remaining here in this race this evening, ladies and gentlemen. All the way back to Jared Livingston. He is the lone driver in 29th. And the lone non-American... Oh, actually, we have a Australian here, Hamish Gallagher. He's also out. The only Canadian in the series at the moment. Jared Livingston sits back in 29th. And he is almost a lap down right now.
Amazing we have this many drivers actually still left after that giant melee.
That was a melee. I am really surprised. You are correct that there should have been, if there was less talent around here, it would have been more drivers involved 100%.
And when stuff happens at this track, it is very, very hard to avoid it because you're going so fast. These trucks are roughly going about 180 down the back straightaway, right where that was all happening, and you really don't have much time to react when you've got the pedal to the floor as the truck goes down. What is it? Which truck is that?
Got a car way up the racetrack right there. Who
Yeah.
is that? I think.
Is that the one of the 811 trucks?
Not 100% sure who it was.
Yeah, it was.
He was
I'm not sure either.
unfortunately blinking out, so I can't tell you 100% on who it was. We are 2 wide throughout this entirety of this field. Look at that. I mean, the the top 20 right now, all the way from Bentley Glazier, who leads in the outside in that number 18 Gatorade machine, all the way back to, I'd say, probably Adam Gilliland in 13th or Ron Holyfield in 14th are side by side as you look at that beautiful number 39, that January 31st machine of Daniel Fogenham, sitting comfortably in second position right now.
Yeah, it's not a place that we're accustomed to seeing him run. We're used to seeing him, 6-7 car lengths out in front of the guy in front of him. But second place right now suits him just fine, because that may be the best place to be right now. We've got 17 laps down out of 100 here at the Daytona International Speedway, with Falkenham just kind of stalking that number 18 truck in front of him. Bentley Glazier. Bentley, he ran in the Xfinity series we had. We were running earlier this season.
He did. Bentley had a great year. Great little season early on for him. And look who's on the outside right there in the number 30. That would be Brian Macklin, the winner of heats, the winner of our heat this evening. Started all the way back in 40th. Currently sitting in second.
Can you believe that? Actually, that is surprising me. He was able to make it that far up that quick.
18 laps around Daytona. It's crazy, right? You think about it. You're moving about 200 yards a second here. So you're moving about 2 football fields every second around Daytona. It's crazy to see how fast these trucks go down this backstretch and down these corners, and the intensity that picks up as this race gets later and later is going to be insane for these drivers. And I bet you if we had heart rate monitors on any of them, your heart rate's through the roof right now when you're in the middle of that pack.
Well, I know one person that does have a heart rate monitor on them right now is me. Had one implanted this morning. And I will tell you this, folks, if your heart is racing and not feeling right, please don't ignore it like the stupid idiot that is commentating right now.
Let me be very, very, very clear. We're not talking about the color commentator. We're talking about the play-by-play guy.
Well, the guy talking right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, how about that? And just go get it checked out. If your heart's not running quite right, if you feel something going on, you may think it's anxiety. It may not be. Just go get it checked out, because I waited so long, ended up 7 days in the hospital, and it wasn't a party. So I now have a heart monitor sitting underneath my skin on my chest. I had it implanted this morning. I'd like to thank the Dr. Wang's office for doing that, and
of course,
I'm happy to still be here. No, actually, yes, the Dr. Wang's office. Dr. Lucrezio actually was the one that actually did my service.
But of course your doctor's name was Wang Randy Pepper. We're not going to touch that.
Hey, Wang!
Kevin DeBrown down there on the backstretch. You see him. He has some damage from that earlier incident. Unfortunate for him. We were talking about him, but we look throughout the field here. It's still 2x2 here around the racetrack here at the Daytona International Raceway. 20 laps complete here. Sorry, I call it Raceway, whatever. It used to be Daytona International Raceway.
Oh, it's never been Raceway.
People have called it DIR for forever, though.
Oh, yes. Oh, sure. I've never heard that one.
You've never heard Daytona International Raceway?
No.
I could go back and watch the Daytona 500, and I bet you I've heard it in the Daytona 500.
All right. I want you to do that.
Lappers up top here on the exit, too. Couple of lap cars damaged from an earlier incident on the outside here down the backstretch. You'll see the leaders come by on the inside. The entire pack is going to... Yeah, that is scary. That's the moment when the pucker happens, right? At Talladega, you see a couple of lappers up top. You're like, whatever, it's 4 lanes away. But at Daytona, you are going to be right there, because this track, as fast and as long as it is, it's not very wide. It's actually, I think it might be less wide than Atlanta Motor Speedway now.
I don't know about that. It's very close, but I think Atlanta is still a little tighter than Daytona.
It's definitely tighter than Texas.
It's definitely tighter than Texas. I'm pretty sure that Daytona is definitely wider.
The 18 got a little loose in the entry into the corner. It slid up the racetrack. Almost put the number 30 of Brian Macklin into the lapper on the outside, but thankfully he was able to get it down. and away from the lap car. And now down the backstretch, you'll see the leader continue to be able to drive the leaders be able to drive continue to drive down the backstretch.
You know, one thing I don't think we're going to see much of anytime soon is three-wide racing.
No, I think everybody's kind of calmed down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see the conga line form. You're beginning to see it start as everybody's starting to get to the bottom lane. Earlier, it was everybody up at the top. Now everybody's starting to get to the bottom, starting to get single file. It'll get its way up to the front here very soon, I think. It won't take long as we see another car from the outside lane drop to the inside. Just now it's about longevity and continuing to stay in this race. Doesn't really matter where you are. If you're the leader on either one of these lanes, you're kind of up the creek without the paddle because you're using more fuel than the guy behind you. Because you're full throttle all the way around this racetrack. That guy behind you in second is using probably 3/4 throttle, but the guy in third is where you want to be in line. You get to use the least amount of throttle in third because you're getting pulled from the two in front of you who are having to use it more, and then you're getting the guy behind you in fourth in line who's who's pushing you. So you want to be third in line. You really do. I don't think you want to be second. I think second is probably it's the second worst spot on the racetrack in line is second.
We all know what second is.
Your first loser.
First loser. It's amazing a movie like that could bring up that whole thing, and everybody remembers it and quotes it.
That's what they call a history-making movie, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, the best comedy NASCAR movie of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people will say that it's Days of Thunder.
It's not a comedy.
Some people will say it's a comedy.
It's a
Trust
drama.
me.
100%
It's a
a drama. It's literally about a man almost dying. Ricky Bobby almost dies. Yeah, but you know how they fix him? They stab him in the leg.
Yes.
Did you see not Dick Trickle. Cole Trickle?
Dick Trickle.
Did you see Cole Trickle getting stabbed in the leg? No.
No. I never saw that.
Did it happen? Maybe. But it didn't make the cut of the movie.
No, it did not.
Continue to be too wide around this racetrack here at the Daytona International Speedway. 25 over 100 laps down. We are a quarter of the way there. Folks, you're not going to miss a single section of the second of the action as we go side by side and we hear what to do after the storm by North Carolina 811.
If have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
And back here at the Daytona International Speedway, down the backstretch, 26 of 100 laps complete. Don't forget to call before you dig. Yeah, Randy, I feel like you're one of those guys who hasn't called before he's dug.
I'm going to say you're probably correct.
I've never called before I've dug, and I've called next to I have dug next to a power pole and still didn't call.
Yeah,
I might just be an idiot. That could be it.
I've dug in my backyard because,
new
you
leader, Daniel Falkenham, he made a great move going from the inside to the outside. Too wide now again off into the front, into the corner. But as you see, once again, the 18's rear end, Bentley Glazier's got a little bit of damage. Just a tiny bit. A little bit of bump graft and damage on that back end. Looks like it's pushed in maybe just a hair.
Yeah. Not enough to affect his truck at all.
No, just visually. Looks a little different than the rest of them on the track. He's just got a little bit of damage on the top of that spoiler, but he should be okay.
He got just a tip on the back of that truck.
just the tip. Just the tip.
Yep, nothing more than tip. So, Falkingham is in his assumed position, as I would say.
Assume the position!
Assume the position. And that's where we usually see him, is out front. And he said he was looking to try to win a truck championship. And this would be a great way to start that. Although we're just barely over a quarter way through this truck race tonight. And there's a lot of racing to be done tonight as Macklin working on that outside groove, that Navy number 30. I'm sure Ron DeSantis would be cheering for that number 30 truck for sure. That would be his favorite truck out here, as he was a Navy veteran. Bulkingham is all by himself. I mean, he's out there just barely, but here comes Macklin once again on that outside groove. It close up on there, get a little side drafting off of the side of that 39 truck. Now, we talk about side drafting. If you're not familiar with what side drafting is, the trucks will pull down close to the other truck to try to get a little bit of that air that truck that's leading in front of you is getting, and they'll suck down there and get that air, and it'll help them go faster. Now, if you sat back there, if you see a truck that's sitting on the outside groove and he's not sucking down, he's going to go backwards real fast. So that's why you see these trucks go down and nearly touch the truck on the inside.
Yeah, that side draft is so much more important now with these new Toyotas, because as I said, the rumor has it, which I don't know if it's true, it's just rumors. Rumor has it is that at the super speedways, the Toyotas in iRacing and in real life have a small disadvantage right now because of the TRD power units. In real life and in iRacing, it's a model issue, so that would never happen though, not in iRacing. But that's the rumor, that there's a little bit of a power issue with the TRD units at the super speedways in real life, and in here in the sim, it's about the model a little bit. It's not as aerodynamic as they'd like it to be. So it's hindering the Toyotas just a wee bit.
That'll be patched up, I'm sure, very soon.
Oh, I would say it'll probably sit there until Talladega, but they'll get it before the next super speedway race.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it hasn't. For what I've seen in officials, it hasn't hindered anybody in the Toyota based on like Atlanta or any of those other tracks. It's just really the super speedways where you struggled to really get the momentum that you'd like to get. There's a big pack of lappers up there on the outside. We're going to be 3 wide for about half a lap here. This is where you can't make a mistake. If you're anybody up here in this front pack, you make one singular mistake, and Ricky Bobby up there in the number 23 might tell you you're going to be last tonight.
Yeah, that's always scary.
3 wide. Oh, man alive. It almost happened right in the middle of the pack there on the exit of the corner.
That's
and it
always
looks
scary.
like we're going to survive, I think. We should be good. It looks like we're okay.
Okay, good. Very good.
But sitting right now in the lead is going to be Brian Macklin on the outside. On that inside lane, Daniel Falkenham back in third. Bentley Glazer, who's on that inside lane on the outside there. And fourth, Trey Edison. He's continued to stay up near the front. Trey looking for his 23rd career win here in the Transervice Sim500 Esports Racing Series Transervice Cups Truck Series. So we'll see what happens here. See if he can get another one of those tonight in that number 7 truck.
I'm sure he would be more than happy to take that trophy home tonight for sure. 32 laps down of 100. Falkingham leading over Macklin right now. They're still side by side all the way around the Daytona International Speedway. And so we've basically got 2 conga lines working here. Nobody getting out of line, so it's kind of like a Carnival cruise ship, a party all the way around the Daytona International Speedway. Oh, good look in the back of that truck right there. Look at that Navy
machine is very, very pretty. That number 30 of Brian Macklin, that Toyota Tundra. I love the new taillights on the Tundra. It's so nice to look at compared to the old truck. Old truck was kind of an eyesore.
It wasn't that bad, but this new version is definitely
way better.
Looking good. Yeah, way better. I agree. I don't know if you've gone out and actually tried to check prices on new cars lately.
No, I don't leave my house. Gas is $5.53 an hour. I might own a hybrid, but I'm not made of money.
Well, I will say that may be one good thing about Ron DeSantis. He makes sure the gas is nice and cheap down here. Gas was $3.62 today.
I might run you over with my car if I can afford to drive down there.
362 at Buc-ee's today, I saw. And that is that's one thing that he tries to make sure that state stays cheap for gas, so people can make their way around the state and check out all the things that they're to do in the state of Florida, whether it's going to Disney World or to the Lion Country Safari.
Daytona International Speedway.
Daytona International Speedway is actually over the Homestead Miami Speedway as well.
Daytona is much nicer.
You know what? I will say this. Daytona is, I like Daytona a lot. I mean, I've been there a million times. But Homestead Miami Speedway is actually one of my favorite tracks to go to. It's a beautiful facility. It's just the city that surrounds it. It's kind of like Daytona. The city around it isn't all that great. But Homestead Miami Speedway, if you've never been to a race there, it's a great place to see a race. Definitely is. As Falkingham leads by 1 car length, basically, over second place. That keeps switching back and forth. Macklin comes up and sucks a little bit on there. And Glazer right there in the back bumper just kind of shoving in there. And hey, we're seeing this actually, the front 2 trucks are actually pulling away from the outside line. This is something we haven't seen at all tonight.
We have not seen that inside lane be able to defeat the outside lane yet this evening. And right now it is beginning to happen there as the leader, Daniel Falkenham, gets a big push from the 18 of Bentley Glazer. He's not even up on that back bumper. He's just in that push zone. That it's about a 2-foot gap between the car and the car behind him, and that's the push zone on these trucks. It's a huge push zone where it gives you a lot of speed. There are some trucks coming down the pit. There's only 2 right now coming down. Keep an eye on that. I don't know if that was a smart decision this early on here.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising. I didn't expect it to be quite this early. But we'll see. We'll see if that comes up. Like maybe some of the short pitting will come back to help them, but I'm not so sure about that. We'll see. As they lap the 23 truck, Falkingham and Glazer, although they had a lead there, Macklin has caught them once again. Thought I saw 3 wide, but it was a lapper there. And once again, Glazer's really given Falkingham a good push there. So these 2 are going to definitely be 2 that we're going to have to watch as the race goes on with 38 laps down out of 100. Good race tonight. Definitely, we had a great race, the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series race. And that's Nick Adams. I'm Randy Pepper on the Ghost Fire Media Network. If you haven't heard us before, welcome aboard. Good to see you watching us tonight. Great race, as always, in the Sim500 E-Racing League. Watching this, now it's going to be a 3-truck breakaway. We have not seen 3, maybe 4 trucks. That STP truck, and Macklin actually jumps down from the high line. He's going to get in line. Could we see the infamous conga line forming now? We might see that. We might see a Carnival Cruise Line conga line.
I 100% foresee the cruise line starting to begin here, especially 40 laps in as you try to maybe save a little bit of fuel to be able to get to the end, maybe on 2 more stops here with 39 of 100 laps complete.
I'm going to bet right now about lap 43, we're going to see everybody in for gas. At least gas and maybe some tires. I think that's the magic number. What do you think there, Nick?
I'm thinking lap 45. I think if you do 45, you're going to split this in half. You might be able to make it the last 55 laps on a tank. Actually, no, there's no way you make 55. Probably 45, split 45 and 80, do 20 laps in that last 10.
We'll see. I'm saying 43, you're saying 45. So we'll see. We're at lap 40, so we know we are anticipating within the next 5 laps, we're probably going to see some pit stops. And that's always interesting when you've got this many trucks running with each other. And that may be the reason why. Yeah, and that may be the reason we saw Macklin pull down from the outside to the inside, because he knew he was going to have to pit shortly.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
And the thing is, will everybody be able to get their trucks woed down without hitting the guy in front of them? If you're stuck on the outside, are you going to be able to make it down to the bottom of the track in time to make your pit stop? So this is where
that's the
we're
single file
anticipating
line you're looking at.
Yep. And looking back, you can see a driver sitting there just looking at some.
You're looking off at Daniel Falkenham. You're looking back at Bentley Glazier in the 18, sitting directly behind him on the outside, the number 91 of Darren Runge in that purple machine. He's trying to get up there.
Does Runge want to be stuck on that outside groove? Well, now I don't think I'd want to. He's actually got a trunk full of a lap truck of Kevin D. Brown back there.
Might be giving him that little bit of momentum he didn't have before, though, so he might like where he is.
He might, but if he's stuck on that outside groove when everybody jumps down to get some gas and some tires, you know, do you take 4 tires? You take 2 tires. What do you think there, Nick?
I wouldn't take any.
None.
I'd take none right now. Not right now. I'd take tires under caution, but it's Daytona. And it's not like it's old Daytona. It's newer Daytona. So newer Daytona has less issues when it comes to tires. I wouldn't touch. I wouldn't get any tires. Oh, here comes a big group of drivers down pit lane.
Lap 43. So let's see. I think we're going to both split this thing.
Yeah, I think we're going to do 43 and 44, to be honest with you. That's going to split both of our thought processes. You thought 43. It's at the end of 42 they come in. I'm thinking 45. I think they're all going to come in now probably this next time by here and finish this off.
We're going to see here. Will they try to stretch it out one more time? I don't think they can. I believe if we saw this big group come in, I think you're right. 44 is going to be the magic number. And here they come, all of them, fanning off. Daniel Falkingham's going to bring him down. He's going to get woed down. Whoa! I'm not so sure he got woed down quick enough.
Let's keep an eye on it.
We'll see. Looked like he may have come in just a little too hot. He got on the brakes really hard. And he might have hit that line going a little too fast, but we'll see here.
He's getting tires. He locked them up, so he had to get tires.
Yep. 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles.
And he did not speed.
Wow, that's amazing. I really thought he was going a little too fast. And they did all get tires. Not sure about the truck in front of him. I'm not sure who that is. They may not got tires. I see your blinking problem now. And after this thing all sets itself back on pace, we'll find out who is actually the leader now.
It looks like it'll be Falkenham. Yeah, it looks like it should be Daniel Falkenham.
So Runge, I assume Runge was actually a lap down, maybe?
Runge is not pitting.
So how is he getting so many more laps than these guys? That's what I don't understand.
Here he comes.
Okay. He was able to get at least another lap. So he came in at 45. So we all split it across the board. I said 43. They started and they ended at 45. So we are both correct in this one. And that will shake the field back up to where Falkingham is now leading with Edison Gillen. They are a 3-car or 3-truck breakaway by themselves. Let's see if they can hold off the rest of the field, which is all lining up and they're all going to stack up and try to catch the 2 or 3 leaders right now.
So the
I
car
believe that
in front of the 39 is actually a lap down.
And he pitted with them. That's who that is. So they have 3 trucks out there running nose to tail, and they're going to try to run away from the rest of the field, but I don't think that's going to last very long. I believe that big pack of trucks are going to track them down and come up like a giant praying mantis trying to get somebody, trying to get their
Interesting place for you to
meal.
go with that.
I'm just trying to think of, they're like stalking them. You know how a praying mantis do. And here they come.
Oh, my goodness. It's like they're sitting still.
Yep.
Like they were sitting still. Trey Edison out to the lead. Adam Gill in the second. He'll drop down right in front of Falkenham. 42, Scott Stenzel will be stuck on the outside by himself.
And that always sucks to see that happen. You know, you help the guy in front of you get up there, and then they leave you out to dry.
It's never nice.
No, never. It's never nice, but it always happens. It hasn't ever happened to me.
No?
Yeah, right. No,
I was going to say,
I'm
you're
just
not up
kidding.
front nearly enough for it to happen to you. That was mean. I'm sorry, Randy.
Not in the league we've been running, but in other leagues.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 48 of 100 laps completely. We're almost halfway here. We're going to take another commercial break here, and you're going to hear from one of our sponsors.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Yes, back at Daytona International Speedway. The Sim500 Transervice Truck Series, 52 laps out of 100 with myself, Randy Pepper, and Nick Adams with Edison still leading over Falkingham, Gildenwater, Roth, Galantoni, O'Rourke, Tensel, Woods, and Han are your top 10. Nick, is this pretty much what you thought we were going to see tonight?
I'm actually surprised we're still too wide. 52 laps in, I didn't expect us to be too wide still. I didn't expect to see such battles for the lead up here and such tight battles around the racetrack, to be quite honest with you. Oh, my God, what just happened? Okay, there we go. I didn't expect to see such tight battles around the racetrack here for different positions on the track. I thought we'd be single file by now, calm down, chilling out, just relaxing, but that's not what's happening around the racetrack at the moment.
No, not at all. They are still fighting. Although
that
now
inside
we do
lane
have,
is starting to lead, though. It's starting to win out in the battle there. Daniel Falkenham was leading the outside. He dropped down to the inside. He's back and forth. So when you drop that outside lane that far back with that little amount of trucks on it, you're going to end up breaking that lane down.
Yeah, I think they're finally settling down. It took them 54 laps to kind of settle down, and those first 5 trucks are kind of breaking their way away, and so they can just follow the leader around. Actually, just 4 trucks now, because that outside line just does not want to give up. Nose to tail for the first 4 trucks, and then it's side by side from 4th on back. And then a few stragglers back there in the very back there, as you can see them in the frame. But it's been a good race so far. 54 laps, actually 55 now, out of 100 laps. And looking out the front of the Edison number 7 truck. Good looking front end, white and blue. Nice bright blue top of that truck with a bright yellow number, which is always good for a broadcaster. When we're trying to look at your truck, it's always good to see.
Yeah, make sure you put the number the correct direction, too.
Yes, exactly. Hey, the outside line has caught back up.
It has. I think it's because that inside lane just cannot get organized. It seems that inside lane is struggling to stay together. They're having a rough time of it right now on that inside lane. They get together, they pull away from that outside lane, but then they come back to it, and that outside lane gets hooked back up, and that inside lane can't stay nose to tail. There's too many games being played right now in that inside lane and not just stay together.
You're seeing that little bit of tandem racing, too.
I am. That outside lane is pushing real hard.
Yeah.
They're not playing around right now on the outside. They are working as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, is that the 3 truck?
That is the 3 truck. That is the number 3.
So he's a lap down.
He is. He's trying to lead that outside lane to prosperity.
Bringing Roth with him. Roth trying to get something happening up there. And as long as he follows that number 3 truck, something will happen.
Yeah.
He could be in contention for a win tonight. And
speaking of wins, 43 laps to go here at the Daytona International Raceway. I'm going to do that just to mess with you.
Now wait till we get to Loudon.
What, the best racetrack in the history of the world?
Oh, boy. Yeah. Yeah, this place smells like a dump.
That's because it is.
At least they're not running over a meth pipe out at Loudon. They are here, though.
I don't know if you're right about that. You don't know much about New Hampshire, do you, Randy?
Just kidding. I've made it very clear about Daytona. It's funny. I was talking to a couple of people tonight or today at the doctor's office, and we were discussing the areas of Daytona, and all of us agreed that we're not from Daytona. None of us live in Daytona. I actually live in Ormond. They live in Port Orange, and there's a reason why we live in Ormond and Port Orange. And usually when we refer to where we live, oh, trouble!
Oh, big
We got
trouble! Big trouble
trucks.
behind him! 5, 6 trucks now around. 6, 7, now maybe 8 trucks involved. We're gonna see what happened, what started it, but we got trucks going through the dirt. We got just barely missing up on the outside lane. Big chunk for a lot of cars, though. Lots of trucks junked through 3 and 4. We'll take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that was.
It started back. It started back in the pack. It was
12.
the number 12 got tapped. See if we can see what happened here for you. Give us 2 seconds here, folks, to jump on a new camera angle. Scott Simley was up on the outside all by his onesies. The 03 got into the corner, slid up the racetrack, and that was the end of it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trucks involved there. The second big one of the evening here at Daytona International Speedway. Take another look at what happened there for you. Take a look from the roll bar here of the number 12. You can see what happened in live time. Out that left front, he just gets tapped in the left rear, and there's nowhere to go for him. Boom, and then that's it. You can just see the carnage begin behind him.
And unfortunately, he was already 11 laps down, so he was a lapper and got turned around.
He was just trying to run some laps, get some experience, and he got turned. That's all you can say about it. He got turned. It wasn't on purpose, but he got turned. It was an accident. Stuff happens, but man, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But all the leaders come in. This might be the final pit stop of the race, Randy Pepper, if we go green. Oh, Trey Edison overshot his pit stall. The 2-time champion shot his stall. Oh, he overshot, had to back up on pit lane. Oh, man, the expletives that got to be coming out of that car right now. He went from first to maybe 5th on the exit of pit lane now. Man, oh, man, Trey Edison must be angry at himself inside that car at the moment.
He was probably just saying, "Aw, Bulkingham."
Yep, that's what I would bet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take another commercial break here. We're under caution. We'll be right back here on the Ghost Fire Media Network.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Back at Daytona International Speedway, Daniel Falkingham is still your leader with Gillian Walter second. Gillian now running third. Edison, who had a terrible pit stop, is now fourth. Galantoni fifth. Coleman is sixth. Holyfield, how did he make his way all the way up there? Is actually running seventh or eighth, depending on what lap you go by. Holyfield, Macklin still running well in that number 30. And then behind him, the guy we haven't talked a whole lot about tonight, the number 2, Mikey Kelly. Mike Kelly. So
the pace truck peels off. 61 laps down, 2 cautions in tonight. And across the start-finish line, here we go at Daytona. Daniel Falkingham with 38 laps to go takes the green flag. Would that be the final restart? We shall wait and see. Off into turn 1.
I do not believe that will be the final restart. I believe we still have one more big one in our cards for tonight. Falkingham safely out front with a trunk full of Gillian right behind him. Shoving it up to the outside groove is once again starting to form up and trying to make something happen with the number 4 of Gillenwater leading that charge with a trunk full of Edison right behind him. So they're side by side, stacked up door handle to door handle, lug nut to lug nut around the Daytona International Speedway. Down they go to the stretch to complete lap 63 with Falkingham leading.
63 laps complete. Robert Gillenwater now here on the outside for the first time this evening. The number 4, that Chevy Silverado looking to take the lead. He's got the number 7 of Trey Edison up behind him on his back bumper on the exit of turn 2. Down the backstretch, number 38 of Daniel Falkingham will pull away just a little bit more. And that Chevy Silverado of the number 39 of Daniel Falkingham continues to lead here off into 3 and 4. But he's now side by side with Robert Gillenwater through 3 and 4 here.
Side by side as they come off of turn number 4 and head towards the front stretch. And down the main grandstand.
3 wide in the middle of the pack right there.
Yeah, 3 wide in the middle of the pack back there. Still a little bit early, I think. I think you need to wait till about 10 to go. And these guys are looking for something on the outside groove, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, they're antsy. They're very antsy.
Very, very antsy.
I don't know what was said to get them so antsy. Maybe there's rain coming. I don't know.
Well, rain is in the forecast, but I think the clouds are off in the distance for a little while. I think we're going to go green the whole time tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. Falkingham now getting a little bit of breathing ground with Gillian shoving his nose right behind him, and then behind them it's 2 and 3 wide. One truck is sitting there 3 wide once again all by themselves. I'm not sure what truck that is, but they'll tuck back in line, which is a smart thing to do. 65 laps down, and they'll come across the main grandstand into turn number 1, and off into 2 they go. Falkingham leads.
Yeah, Daniel Falkingham continues to lead here, but man, oh man, the pressure is mounting behind him. The drivers are starting to get a little antsy. Everybody around him is starting to try to move a little bit more. They're trying to get into spots that they know they can win from. As we have a 3 wide battle happening behind him as the number 41, E.J. O'Rourke, slides to the outside. Number 84 of Anthony M. Calantoni, and E.J. O'Rourke's going to make it work all by himself. Move himself into the top 7 and put himself 4th on the outside lane.
Yeah, good run by him. Ron Holyfield, I'm actually shocked that he's up there running 9th because he was involved in that early incident. He was actually one of the ones I pointed out that was in that incident, and he's all the way up into the top 10 right now. It's a good run for Holyfield. And I know he's one of your favorite drivers there, Nick.
The right by Holyfield. Down goes Falkingham. Down goes, sorry.
Where's my ear? I can't hear anything. Oh boy, the names I hate pointing out some of these people's names. We've got Holyfield with his name. We got the Rhinestone Cowboy, Glenn Campbell. We always mess with him as well. But, folks, I hope you don't take offense to some of our cheesy jokes. But, hey.
Listen,
it's
these jokes are
broadcasting.
much more PG than the ones we used to bring on here, okay?
Oh, yeah. They are definitely more PG. If you heard us last season, boy. Hey, by the way, speaking of last season, I want to congratulate Derek Shirley, or Derek Schilling on his championship win.
Okay, that's a lap down,
RJF.
Carl. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whew.
Yeah, Derek Schilling won the RJF championship last night, their truck series. Congratulations to him. He was an IVRL driver that we called last season and didn't have a lot of luck in that, but he had a lot of luck last night and won his first championship. So congratulations to Derek.
Who?
Derek
What did he win?
Schilling. He won the RJF championship, truck championship.
Good job.
Yeah.
Derek's a good guy.
Very good guy. Very good guy. Actually, I will be on the Carnival Mardi Gras with him in just about 3 weeks.
God help all the people that have to be near you two drunk together.
We'll only have one drunk. It will be him. He's already said I have to buy him drinks.
Okay.
Since now I have to refer to him as Champ as well.
Just call him Jimmy Johnson.
Well, he didn't
Boom,
win 7.
confetti.
Only 1, not 7. So I'm still waiting for somebody to win 8. I'm tired of sitting on 7 championships. Got 3 people tied at 7 championships. Time for 8. So we have a real champ. All-time champ.
Why are you talking about Jeff Gordon like that?
I'm not talking about Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon only won 5 championships.
4.
Is it 4? Okay, 4.
He should have won 5, but we won't talk about it.
Yeah.
Side by side now for second there. Daniel Falkenham out in the lead. Adam Gilliland in second. Robert Gillenwater in third on the outside trying to make that work. They're 2 by 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 2.
Yeah. By 2 by 2 by 2. 2 by 4, 2 by 4, 2 by 4. By the way, 2 by 4s are still expensive.
Plywood is
Falkenham.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's Falkenham expensive.
Exactly. Exactly. 70 laps are down. 30 laps remain in this great race tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. Really great. Hopefully we'll see this type of racing the whole entire season. That's what we're hoping for. Side by side all night long. I don't know if we have a whole bunch of races like this, it'll be hard to call them. It's too much action. And you see that number 4 truck, the Gillenwater, kind of tucking down a little bit, get that little side draft to kind of maybe get a run on Falkenham. We've seen those two battle together many times, so it'd be good to see a good battle at the end of this one. Don't you agree?
I would.
Down the super stretch they go into turn number 3. Falkenham down low, and his trunk is full of that 56 of Gillian. I wonder if Gillian's related to any of the Gillians that race in NASCAR. Todd Gillian, who is a truck racer, had a tremendous race going last week as well, and the week before that, and the week before that. He's had a good season. This Gillian is having a good race tonight. Right behind Falkenham, and behind him Coleman now moving himself up into the 3rd position. We haven't talked a whole lot about Coleman, but Coleman now making his presence known as he's got his nose out in front of the Gillenwater car, and then the truck. Sorry about that. And then 5th, Mr. Consistency himself, Mike Kelly, in that number 2 truck. And just like that, Edison gets his way around him to take that position. But this is Daytona. It swaps by the second. Oh, whoa! It looked like Edison might have made the truck get out of shape. His truck definitely did get out of shape, and he almost lost it right in the middle of the pack there. That would not have been good at all. But the first two trucks, Falkingham and Gilliam, are by themselves, and it's 2x2 all behind them. That inside line is trying to form up and trying to make their way away from that outside line, but I don't think it's going to happen, although the first three trucks now, well, I say that, and just as I say the first three, now that outside line led by Gillenwater, and that number 4 has caught back up, but they have not caught Falkingham quite yet. Falkingham or Gillen. Those two have kind of linked themselves together like a chain. Down the super stretch into turn number 3. But here comes that 4 truck getting a good run. Him and the 7 have linked up really well. And they're trying to make things happen. Get up there. And here we come to the line to complete lap 75. 25 laps remain here at the Daytona International Speedway. And look at that, the outside line. You see that number 4, Gillenwater, sneak out there.
Yeah, you see Adam Gill in there sitting in second right now in the 56. He's all over the back bumper of the 39, Daniel Falkingham. On that outside, though, Robert Gillenwater in number 4. He is pushing as hard as he can. He's hoping behind him that number 7 of Trey Edison can get up there, but that outside lane has kind of died off at the moment, Randy Bever.
Yeah, they have. They've kind of got a little sterile as that outside line is starting to form up and make things happen, moving and shaking. Let's actually look at some of the movers and shakers tonight and see who the big movers and shakers are.
Oh, the biggest
of the
mover
race.
and shaker of the entire evening so far is number 1, Ron Holyfield. That man has gained 30 spots since the start of the race tonight. Right behind him, though, Anthony Calatoni's gained 26, so he's one of our movers and shakers. He's the number 2 mover and shaker of the evening as well. And then you get for your number 3, your third biggest mover of the evening. That's going to be sitting right here in 6th, the number 81 of Josh Parker. That DoorDash machine has moved around the pack. He's gained 18, now 19 spots since the start of the evening. Keep an eye on him here to be your mover of the race. But, folks, your faller of the race, who's not DNF'd, the man who's lost the most spots and hasn't DNF'd out of this race, Tyler Dalton in the 12, in the number 19. He started in 3rd. He's back in 12th. Of course, it's Daytona. Anything can and will happen. But unfortunately for him so far, the only thing that's happened for him is bad luck.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. He's got the Sim500 on that truck as well, and I believe he does have the Transervice trucks on his truck. So that outside line is definitely starting to move. 24 laps are down, and that outside line is starting to form up and make things happen. This could get very interesting as the laps wind down. Falkingham still leading, but every lap that 4 trucks gets a good run, and they stack up to try to get around him. Any predictions here, Mr. Nick? Mr. Nick?
Yes.
Mr. Nick, any predictions here?
Any predictions? Sorry.
Yeah.
Any predictions? I think we're going to have another caution. I'd love to say we're going to go to the end of this race green and be able to see how this battle plays out here, but I think we're going to have another caution that's going to set everything up.
I believe you're right. I will agree with that 100%.
And every once in a while, we
Could
talk
be
about
right now.
things that aren't related to racing. What the hell is going on in AEW?
What do you want to know?
Why do Adam Cole and the rest of the Undisputed Era have all the gold, even though they're not champions? Why'd they steal the belts?
I guess because Tony Khan wanted them to have all the gold.
But they're not the champions. They're just holding on to belts that aren't theirs.
Yeah. Storylines.
That don't make any sense. AEW is, Jesus.
That's actually, you know what?
That's a
is
very
an old,
WWE thing to do.
No, it's an old WCW line. Actually, that was done back in the NWA, WCW days. They did that.
I think it's because the Adam Page championship run is kind of a flop.
Oh, I don't believe so. I think Adam Page is a good champion. I believe he's a very good champion.
You can be a good champion and still be a flop.
I don't.
You have to draw money to be a good champion. He's not drawing a dime.
I don't know about that. He does in certain areas.
Yeah,
what did Adam Page do before he was a professional wrestler?
I have no idea. Probably a cowboy.
No, actually, he was a school teacher. He was a school teacher. He was I think a middle school teacher.
I would love to see how he handled bullying.
Yeah. Come on, boy. Come on, bully the teacher, because the teacher's going to put you in your place. A buckshot lariat for the whole class.
Mr. Page, he's being mean to me.
Harris is being mean to me.
I'll take care of him for you, son.
Yeah.
Anyhow, 20 laps to go here at the Daytona International Raceway. We're going to take one final commercial break. You're not going to miss a second of the action as we go side by side here on the Coast Fire Media Network.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Ladies and gentlemen, back here at the Daytona International Speedway, 15 laps to go. Daniel Falkenham still leads with Adam Gillen sitting tightly in second. Chad Coleman back in third. Josh Parker in fourth. Mike Kelly fifth. Robert Gillenwater sixth. Ron Holyfield seventh with Trey Edison back in eighth. Joey Gattina in ninth. And back in 10th, Anthony Calantoni. That's your top 10.
Yeah, 37 miles left. That's all that's left in this race. 37 miles. So like it's a short trip from here to DeLand.
I don't know where
DeLand is just west of Daytona International Speedway. Just out if you take 92, which is a road that runs right around the front of the Daytona International Speedway. You follow that all the way out, and you will be at Spring Garden, which is part of DeLand. So, about roughly 37 miles, give or take a few miles. We're 14 laps in to this race right now. Falkenham still leading, and we've got a little bit of a breathing room for the top three drivers. We keep saying that, but every time we say that, that outside line of Gillenwater gets a good run and they catch back up. We just hope they get the run that they really want right at the very end. I actually thought we might have a caution by now, but we haven't had one yet. So hopefully we don't see any more. As they're still side by side from third on back, where you find the 38 of Chad Coleman. And Gillenwater. Parker. We haven't said a lot about Parker tonight. Parker's actually having a good run here. Joey Katina. Look at this. Joey Katina coming out of nowhere. Now he's running fifth. So Joey's having a good run in that 14 truck tonight as well. Haven't talked a lot about him, but now he's making some moves. Joey Katina, Josh Parker, Anthony Calantoni. Here's another one, that 84 truck. They've kind of shoved Mike Kelly back. Him and E.J. O'Rourke. Ron Holyfield now is in 10th position. So we've got Katina, Parker, and Calantoni, who we have not talked about a lot tonight. Actually, if you look at this, Josh Parker started 24th. Anthony Calantoni started 37th on the grid. They're running 6th and 7th. So there are a couple movers and shakers as well. So good to see all three of those guys running well here at Daytona International Speedway with 11 laps left to go. Next time around will be 10 laps to go. Will we start to see some moves being made? Or are we going to wait until maybe 3 to go? I think if you're smart, you're going to wait for 3 to go. But everybody sees that 10 to go. That spotter says 10 more to go. And then your mind starts moving around. You start going, time to go. But at Daytona, it's 2.5 miles around this track. That's a long ways to go. Long ways to go. You don't want to just say, oh, 10 laps to go. That's 20 miles. That's like driving from here to Astor. And Astor, actually not Astor, Barberville. Barberville, if you don't know where Barberville is where the Volusia County Speedway is, the World of Outlaws race. Where if you're down here for the Daytona Speed Weeks, you don't want to miss out on it, because you go out there and you see a lot of the big stars out there racing dirt. 10 laps remaining, 20 miles left. Actually, right now, you've only got about roughly around 19 miles left. And they are single file for the top 4 for the first time in a long time. Falkenham, Gillian, Coleman, Parker, Dennis Gillenwater, Kelly, Katina, Calantoni, Holyfield, and O'Rourke.
Daniel Falkenham continues to lead here from Adam Gill, and Chad Coleman sits in third. Then Josh Parker sits there. There's 5 cars in a row here right now, Randy Bember. I'm telling you, somebody's going to make that move to get out from under there, and that's going to change this whole race. We're going to go ahead and look at it from this angle here throughout the corner. Look at this, Randy. I mean, these guys right now continue to try to battle, but that outside lane just cannot get the run that they need to get.
No, it's gonna have to take somebody to go 3 wide and kind of mess up the air a little bit to make something actually happen. And
but do you
see
think that's
some
gonna
guys
happen?
starting to look at. I don't know. I see some guys looking to the outside groove. And how long
the
will it be
intensity's going to pick up?
now
Now there's six in a row. It's 8 to go.
Yeah, it's 8 to go. I think we're gonna have to wait till 5.
You think so?
Yeah, I think 10 miles left. I think that's when we're going to start seeing some people
I
really.
think the intensity's already starting to pick up.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, the spotter's already been on there telling, hey, only a few laps to go.
And the lap cars took the inside lane there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of when that happens. Pit stops. They cannot make it to the end. They're going to start scattering. They're going to start scattering here. I don't know if Falkenham got slowed down. He was flying into the pits. My oh my, that's gonna get scary. Oh, look at this up on the outside, there. We almost had a wreck there in the middle of the corner as a lap car was up the wall up the track. Holy moly, Randy, it's definitely starting to get more intense here.
No doubt about it. We'll see several cars come down here.
My goodness.
Who's going to be the winners of this whole thing? We don't know. We're waiting for the rest of the field to come down and get their last little bit of gas.
Here comes more cars. Here they come.
Yep. Get those trucks woed down. Edison gets into his pit stop. Let's see. They're putting just enough Sunoco fuel to get on his way. Yep.
Keep an eye on Daniel Falkenham. He comes down through the tri-oval. Who's going to take the lead? 6 to go, Randy. They're tucked together. Robert Gillenwater is up the back bumper. That number 39. They were tandem drafting all the way around that time. That truck is overheating behind him, but he does not care. There's 6 laps to go. It's time to go. Who's going to take the lead this time out of turn 2? Oh, my goodness. That's going to be interesting here.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
boy. It's going to be close.
Oh. Inside, outside.
Look at this, inside, outside. They're going through the field. The tandem draft is going here between the 39 and the 4. They had to go down from the top to the bottom to the top again.
They got to move a lot of,
they've got to maneuver.
They've got to maneuver their way through this thing and make their way back up front.
3 cars still have not pitted. The 81 of Josh Parker, the number 10 of Richard Beasley. So Chad Coleman pit on lap. No, it doesn't make sense. We haven't hit lap 96 yet.
Yeah.
Chad Coleman didn't pit already, did he? I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Where is he?
He's the leader currently.
I know, but where is he on the track?
He's about 1 second ahead of them. He's that singular car out there right now.
There's no way he could have. Oh, they're 3 wide getting around
Here
these
they are.
lap cars.
Oh, boy, ladies and gentlemen, now it's getting crazy. Adam Gilliland to the inside. Trey Edison on his back bumper. Daniel Falkenham on the outside.
So Coleman did have to pit, so that's where he's gone. So
Has he? Because
no, he didn't.
no,
They
he's,
just caught him in
he's an eighth.
Yeah,
He just didn't have the speed because he was by himself. Car in the wall up there in front of him. Going to stay in the wall. We're fine for now. 4 laps to go here at the Daytona International Raceway. Speedway.
Falkingham did not get a good run there.
The World Center of Speed has not been good to Daniel Falkenham, but Adam Gilliland is your leader. He's got Trey Edison, E.J. O'Rourke all over the back bumper there. 3 laps to go. 8 miles to go here.
These lap cars are going to play a big part in this. Luckily, it's on the back straightaway, so they don't get too much in the way.
So 7.5 miles to go. Here comes Falkenham on the outside. The 39 and the 4. Big push now off into 3 and 4. You're going to see the intensity start to ratchet up. The third line is going to come into this, I think, real quick here. Just over 5 miles to go on the exit of turn 4. Coming to 2 to go this time by.
Who will be the one that's going to step on a line and make this 3 wide at the end?
Top
Who's
to bottom
be
behind him.
Will they settle for where they're running now, or will somebody try to make something happen? 2 laps remain. The Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Racing. You're seeing why it's called the World Center of Racing. As you see 3 wide, fanning out all down the back straightaway. 3 wide,
Oh,
4
Falkenham's
wide.
getting big push. Look at the Falkenham truck. The Falkenham truck's all over the road there. He's getting his back end picked up off the ground. The 4 car was all over him that time. Robert Gillenwater picked the rear tires of Daniel Falkenham up off the ground. They got 3 lines now behind him. 2.5 miles to go. If they get the white flag, the next one will end it. And Adam Gilliland will take the white flag, and that'll be it, folks. The next one will end it. Whatever it is, if it's a caution, if it's a checkered, the next one will end it here at Daytona. Adam Gilliland out front, the number 56. Trey Edison behind him in the number 7. Daniel Falkenham on the outside here through 2. And they are side by side, 3 wide behind them, but they're 2 wide for the top 10 positions here currently. Falkenham's getting a big push. Here comes Robert Gillenwater up the back bumper. He's going to try to clear him off into 3 and 4. Adam Gilliland with a big run, though. He's going to get the push from Trey Edison. It'll be... Oh, there goes Falkenham up the track.
Oh.
He's going to save it. They're going to wreck. They're going to wreck. Big one behind him. Big one behind him. Adam Gilliland is a sitting duck. Trey Edison to the outside. Coming to the line. Who's going to get it? 3 wide. Trey Edison's going to get the win.
Wow.
And they're going to wreck after the start-finish line. Adam Gilliland will go from 1st to 3rd as Trey Edison steals the win here at Daytona.
Wow. Unbelievable
What
finish.
a finish. What a way to start the year.
Yes, a revolve.
What a way to start the year. Folks, I don't care how you feel about super speedway racing. I'll tell you what, that was nice right there.
Unbelievable. I really thought Falkingham was going to save that, but unfortunately it did not work that way. But he almost did. I got to give him credit. He tried. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Trey Edison with career win number 23 in the Transervice Truck Series here at the Sim500 Esports Racing League. Congratulations to him as he jumps up to 23. He's now 3 wins ahead of the next best driver in the series history, and Justin Fuller. What a win by Trey Edison. He came out of nowhere. I mean, we had the idea that might happen at the end of this race.
Yeah, he lit it up there at the very end for sure. And
you see Glenn Campbell, the number 44 truck, such a difficult way to end the race after having such a good top 10 evening all night. Ends it in the grass. And we were told to watch out for Trey Edison here. Oh, it might be Eidson. Might be Eidson. I've been reading his name.
We'll find out.
It might be Eidson.
Eidson. No. Idson?
It's definitely not Edison now that I read the name. It's definitely Eidson.
Idson? Idson.
I'm going to guess it's Eidson.
All right, we're gonna find out because we're gonna bring
We
him up
are.
here in the booth and we're gonna talk to him and let him explain how to
Well,
pronounce.
while he
his
celebrates his win,
name.
we're going to grab E.J. O'Rourke as Adam Gilliland goes to the infield care center. Where is E.J. O'Rourke? I know E.J. O'Rourke is here. Okay, hold on. Maybe he's not.
What?
I
Had him in the booth before.
I don't see E.J. O'Rourke, and I also don't see Adam Gilliland.
Huh.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll just pull in our winner here tonight. Trey, what a great win here to begin the season here, Trey. How do you say your last name?
Edson.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, I was right.
Just don't watch the broadcast tonight. Just skip Daytona.
All right. Well, did you say Idson?
No, I
No,
said
he started
Edison
to.
all night.
We said
Okay.
Edison.
I can't read apparently, so I was calling you Edison all night.
It's all good. Growing up, it's not like I'm setting rules out here, but I accepted Edson or Edison, so you're good. The Idson or Idson are the ones that I'm like, where do you get that from?
Well, I did say it might be Idson.
He did say that, but I said Edson.
We'll just go ahead and pretend I didn't say that. Anyway, I'm Nick. This is Randy. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the booth. They just redid our booth here. It's very nice. It has the brand new red velvet on the walls. It's like a 1980s porn set in here, but we don't want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I'm interested now.
There you go. See. I mean, Randy's got the mustache and the mullet. I've got the alcohol.
I can hear the NWO music all over the place over here.
Oh man, you're speaking my language now. We just need Sting dropping out of a helicopter, and it's like my childhood.
All right, there we go. See, 1980.
We got something in common.
We're
I'm
learning
a big
things about our
AEW
winner.
fan.
Now we're learning things about our winner tonight. He likes 1980s porn sets, alcohol, beards, and mustache. WCW. I mean, that you say WCW. It checks off all the boxes I just said.
Yep.
I'm looking for Tony Schiavone now.
Man, I listen to his podcast. I listen to like 7 wrestling podcasts, but I mainly listen to his, and it's I suggest it. He's hilarious.
Me and you, we're gonna get along great. Trust me.
He's such we don't deserve Tony. He's such a gift.
No, absolutely.
Well, Trey,
so tell us about the win.
Yeah, heck of a win. Came out of nowhere.
Well, it's funny. I got the pole, which kind of caught me off guard because it's usually Tommy Ryan or Tyler Dalton. So to beat them, I was like, that's freaking awesome. Like, my night's made. Finally stuck it to those guys at a plate qualifying event. But yeah, just really stuck on the bottom. Adam, EJ, Macklin, we have a lot of teammates in there. Fuller got wrecked earlier. Stenzel got wrecked earlier. There's probably somebody I'm forgetting. Ian Hahn. I mean, so we're a pretty large team. So we tried to kind of form a plan because there was a Daniel and some of his Coleman and some of them were working together as well. So we really just try to form a plan and kind of leapfrog them, get on pit road really good. I had a hell of a green flag pit entry right there at the end. And I was just going to stay on Adam's butt and push him to the checkered. So I was fine with it. Daniel was on the right rear, so I really couldn't move. And then I told myself with 4-5 to go, like, if for whatever reason I get clear, I'm going to push Adam as far as I can and then probably go for the win. Well, it didn't seem like that was going to happen. And I guess Daniel got a bad bump, got clear, and I made a move. I didn't think EJ would go with me because, he's our teammate, so he's got to pick one of us. And honestly didn't know what he would do in that situation. Like, he might go 3 wide, but he gave me enough help to get by Adam. So kind of shocked to win at Daytona. I usually end up on my lid in these things. But yeah, I won the title in 2019 and 2020 and took off 2021. So this is a heck of a way to come back full time.
Tell you the move that actually EJ made to clear the Gillenwater truck was amazing. I mean, he just barely cleared him to push you out to the front. It was if you watch back the replay, you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm doing it now.
So you're seeing it, I guess.
I'm seeing it now.
Yeah, you see how close he came to hitting.
Yeah, he took a chance.
Yeah, big time. I mean, that was just perfect.
Yep, he's pretty good at these plate tracks. He'll get mad at me, but he knows it's true. He hasn't really run good anywhere else. But he's got this plate thing figured out. So you could tell him I said that. He'll probably laugh because he knows I'm half
actually,
sitting.
you know what? We saw him run really well actually in the Xfinity
Oh, wait,
series.
is he your teammate?
EJ is EJ and Adam. It was
Oh,
all three
hey,
of
look
us
at
at
that.
50
EJ O'Rourke
yeah.
just crashed the booth. He just walked
Yep.
right in here. EJ, it's Nick, Randy, and Trey up in the booth. How you doing?
Nick, how we doing?
Oh, you know, I haven't talked to you in a little while. The last time I talked to you was a super speedway, so I guess what your teammate over here said is true.
Yeah, it sounds.
This is an interview, EJ. When you finish good, you get them.
It's pretty true. I guess we'll see you in August and July for Daytona.
That's funny. Very funny. Hey, man, we were just watching the replay. You just barely cleared the Ford truck of Gillenwater to get that position. I mean, you barely got it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I'm not here to wreck my teammates or do anything dumb. Team win for Aftermath is a good day. I was just content pushing Trey in that personal comfort Toyota, who was pushing that units Toyota of Adam Gilland, and came to that position right at the end where I jumped up to push Trey, and they're both my buddies, and I couldn't just choose one, so I tried to go low on Adam, and I don't know, I went below the line, I guess.
I couldn't choose one, so I chose none.
Exactly.
Hey, it's better than saying you're my favorite.
Yeah, this personal comfort Chevy Silverado was fast, and I got to thank Trey for putting together this beautiful paint scheme, and Scott Stencil at Personal Comfort for shelling out the money for me to finish good for two races a season. So hopefully it can go better.
You sound like Randy Pepper now. It's actually kind of sad.
Oh gosh.
So how's the team meeting going to be on Monday? Now that the three of you just destroyed 3 cars after winning the race. Well, 2 of you destroyed 2 cars, and the other one was nice and clean.
Yeah, we're gonna.
There's a lot of torn up stuff.
We're gonna be getting together next Thursday. Have to debrief on this one.
Because we got Fuller torn up, Macklin torn up, Scott's torn up. Yeah.
Ian.
There's Ian. There's some. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know where we go next week, but we'll be all right.
Let me ask you something. Do you guys practice as a team before these races?
We usually practice wrecking each other.
Yeah, no, not really. Not with fixed setup. I really get on here maybe 30 minutes before qualifying and figure it out. That's
how often do you how often do you race during the week?
Probably 3 nights maximum. It's one of I'll either run the Xfinity series here or the Cup series but Cup and Truck are my main focus. Xfinity on part-time. I ran Sunday night, had a hell of a run going, but just came up a little bit on gas. So we don't get to race a whole lot. Yeah, like I said, 2 or 3 nights a week, probably at Sim500. But yeah, I don't, like I said, maybe 30 minutes of practice.
For me, every night's race day at Sim500. Got to thank the great admins of Joey Katina. It's great. Great league here. Every night's race day.
Every night you race?
Yeah, I sure do.
Pretty much.
You got a wife?
Not yet.
I have a wife. I have a wife and a kid. EJ has a cat.
I have a cat.
Oh,
do you want a wife, EJ?
I'm good.
I was just gonna say I could ship you one.
Jeez, Nick, that's terrible.
I'm gonna get hit later for that. It's okay.
You know what? Was that your wife in G.I. Jane?
Oh! I will come Will Smith you right now. I swear to God. You know what? We're getting out of hand here. Okay, all right. Well, EJ, Trey, it was nice talking to you. Thank you guys for coming in the booth again. Great job in that one. You said Adam's your teammate as well.
Adam's one of my good buddies. Yes.
Look at that, Adam just jumped into the booth too. He just kicked the door and the thing was locked, and here he is. Adam, congratulations on a nice 3rd place finish. You guys wrecked 2 of your 3 trucks though post race, so I think the team owner might be a little upset.
Yeah, team owner will be fine. One of them deserved to be wrecked. We raced above the line for 99 laps, then you got the one squirrel in the 41 that wants to race below the line in the last one. So I should have been second. Maybe they'll look at that, maybe not. But either way, happy for Trey. We controlled that race pretty good, and I think that's about as good as it can go there at the end when it's coming down to teammates.
Trey pulled out the brass knucks there at the end, so that's all. That's what happens. He hit you guys with a chair, and that was it.
Yeah, I got unlucky that Daniel got moved out of the groove there, or moved up in 3 and 4. Other than that, I think it would have been pretty tough for Trey to be able to go anywhere. He was kind of boxed in, but after Daniel got loose, I knew we were gonna have a big run coming out back.
Well, it was a good race. That's all we can say. Everybody had a good race here. All three of you guys had a really good race, and it was a lot of fun to watch you, for sure.
Good. I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That's a
it was
heck of a
fun.
way to start this league with you guys. This Wednesday nights we've the winter series was great, but this truck series, man alive, it's gonna be fun.
How do you guys feel about running as many laps this late at night?
I think this race.
Yeah, it's a little long.
This race should have probably been about 60 or 70. It was too long. When we're running the same distance as the real series, I think we need to reevaluate that. It was fortunate we only got 2 cautions because we'd have been here all night if it was a wreck fest.
Yeah, I agree. And as the season goes by, there may be some tracks where you might be there for a long time. So
yeah, it's funny you ask because we were literally when we were practicing, we were looking at the schedule, and there are some races on here that you're like, holy crap, that might be 3 hours. So hopefully we can talk to Joey, get some of these shortened a little bit. But yeah, I think I think Joey's goal here at Sim500 is under 2 hours. Most of the races in like 10:15, 10:30 Eastern. So yeah, this one ran a little bit long, but I'm assuming he'll shorten some of these races once we point out,
Yeah, we're almost 11 o'clock right now. So
correct. And then there's Pocono. I think Pocono was our main issue. It's like 70 laps, which that'll take quite a while.
Well, speaking of being 11 o'clock, I'm old. So, Randy, I think it's time to thank our 3 friends here for joining us in the booth. Heck of a 1, 2, 3 for you 3 guys tonight out there. Heck of a finish. Would have been great to see what happened if nothing happened coming out of turn 4. But we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Good luck.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys.
Mr. Pepper.
Yes.
I have the ending, so it says thank you for watching Ghostfire Media. Just sign us out.
Awesome. All right, so you've been watching the broadcast here on the Ghostfire Media Network of the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. Until next week, thanks for watching. From Nick Adams, myself, Randy Pepper, we'll see you next week, and so long from the Sunshine State. Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.